Hello and welcome. We are on location in Regina. The Honourable Tim McMillan has been on our show numerous times, but this week he invited us to his show. We're going to spend the day in the life of a minister. Find out how he's working for you right now on Around the Region.
This is the building we've elected Mr. McMillan to work in. The Saskatchewan legislature was finished in 1912. The total construction cost of this building was $1.75 million. A big price to pay for Saskatchewan taxpayers and a controversial move at the time. But Mr. McMillan loves coming to work in this beautiful building every day.
Making real changes is why I come to work and why I want to represent the people of Lloydminster.
Since he was appointed to cabinet last year, he's landed a pretty nice office. He's now the minister in charge of Crown Investment Corporations, the Information Technology Office, the Information Services Corporation, Saskatchewan Government Insurance, and the Liquor and Gaming Authority. It's a pretty demanding schedule, especially considering last year his sole responsibility was representing Lloydminster constituents, which he still does on top of his 5 portfolios. But it's a challenge he's taken on with enthusiasm.
Sitting at the cabinet table, coming from a riding like Lloydminster, where there's very specific issues around the border, around how healthcare and education are split between Alberta and Saskatchewan, I think that having somebody that understands those issues and knows the day-to-day of them is important for our province.
But the responsibility doesn't rest solely on his shoulders. He has a team working with him. Directly outside his office, managing his calendar, is Chantal.
So I make sure he has everything that he needs to have when he needs to have it, and make sure that he gets to all the places he needs to go on time.
Folks from ISC are coming over.
Behind the next door, there's his right-hand man, Clay.
Running the office, making certain that the minister is served and he's prepped for his various responsibilities would probably be the general overall description.
And 2 ministerial assistants, Alicia and Todd.
We help with a lot of constituency issues, so if somebody's got a problem with SGI or something like that, we try to solve those for them, and do research and so on for the minister and make sure he has the information he needs.
That's a higher staff to politician ratio than other ministers, and this is just the Regina office. The constituency office has a separate staff as well.
I think it's because we have a rather extensive portfolio, so there's always different pockets and lots to do that way, but also so you make sure you're getting the job done as well. You've got, lots of people who have issues that they want to talk about, and you want to give them an appropriate amount of time. You don't want to rush through their situation because it's important to them and it affects their lives.
The team is coming up on their 2nd year of working together, and the adjustment period seems to be over.
He's a pretty easygoing guy. He's a lot of fun. Sometimes it's a little tough to tell whether or not he's serious or kidding, but we have a pretty good working relationship in the office here, I think. He's
very goal-oriented. He knows what he wants to change, and we work hard to make those changes within the parameters of what's possible, and we get those things done. It's a marvelous relationship working for the guy that knows what he wants to get done.
I think it's a pretty interesting experience because he's, your genuine good old farm boy, but he also has, he's very, very bright, very, very focused. He cares deeply about his constituency.
But he's also a really down-to-earth guy, common sense guy. He'll be on the phone talking to the Premier about some issue, and then 2 minutes later he's talking to his daughters about, setting up a trip to ride horses back in the riding on the weekend. So, it's really cool to see somebody who's down-to-earth and a good family man like that.
I have a lot of confidence and faith in them, and through me I delegate a lot of responsibility to them, so I need to have that faith. I also think it's important that we have a bit of a team feel that if somebody does have a particular problem, they can also come back or elevate it to me, and sometimes it requires a minister to make an extra phone call or to give an extra push to make sure the right things happen.
The camaraderie here is pretty evident. There isn't 1 second of the day that isn't scheduled, but they all work in sync and ultimately share the same end goal.
I like helping people, and I like helping somebody like Minister McMillan help people. He's a good down-to-earth guy, he's hardworking, and you can just chat through issues with him and work to really find ways to help move Saskatchewan forward and help moving the folks in Lloydminster in that area forward.
People from my area of the province.
Up next, Life in Question period. How our MLA does up against the NDP is after the break.